Look at you, meatbags. Look at you. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Cult of the Dead. Give me just 1 second here. Welcome. Y'all are crazy, bro. Y'all are crazy, bro. Y'all are legit crazy, bro. Well. Hallo, ihr Lieben. Und willkommen auf den PoorDeadMan Show. I'm the Poor Dead Man. Murder is on the menu, probably mine. Because today we are playing King of the Castle, a chat interaction game. We're going to play 1 or 2 kings today in the bloodline. And you are going to get to choose the fate of my king, the fate of the kingdom. We will be battling for control of the kingdom, no doubt. How are you? I hope you've been doing good. What's up, Luca? Hello. Hello, Luca. I don't see your I see your chat on my monitor here, but I don't see it actually in my chat. That's so crazy. Welcome, Luca. Hello, Ixio. I'm glad I had that window open, otherwise I would have missed you. Good to see you, Luca. We're going to be playing King of the Castle today. We've played 3 generations of this dynasty with the chat. And so we will be continuing that playthrough. And I'm so excited to game with you guys today. This is going to be a lot of fun. Just like the last 2 times we played this, it's going to be a lot of fun. The great and powerful wizard Pepe Y has showed up. Welcome, welcome, Pepe. Welcome, Luca. Welcome, Ixio. Luca, I'm excited for you to join us. Normally, I start my show with a little bit of yapping. Just a couple minutes to greet everybody. Oh! With the bats! Thank you, Squiddy. Keeping me on my toes. There's more guano in the studio now to clean up. Pinky, get to it. Start cleaning. Oh, man. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Good to see you. Oh, Apex! 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 Good to see you, buddy. We're going to be doing some King of the Castle. Welcome. I just started Apex. I was just a little bit behind because I had some sort of weird computer technical internet issue right at the start of the show. Oh my God, we're going to have so much fun. Okay, Pepe. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a lot of fun with your friends. I hope you have a lot of fun. So the plan for today, we're going to play some King of the Castle. When that is done, we are going to move into me leaving so that I can celebrate the boy's birthday. He's officially 4. 4 years old. Can you believe it? It's crazy. We're going to celebrate his birthday. I think we're going to go to a pool or the beach. We're going to be swimming with the boy. We'll see how much he loves it. He normally loves to swim. He loves the beach. He loves it. He's a real party animal, actually. He loves to dance. He loves to swim. My favorite human being on earth. You'll see you later, Ixio. Yes. The info for the voiceover. I'm happy to do it, buddy. Let me know. I did get my illness did reoccur, but thankfully I haven't lost my voice and I've been all right. So I think I can still do a competent voiceover for you. I worked a bit more on my health mod, my overhaul mod for Project Zomboid, guys. It's going really well. I'm loving it. Welcome, Karingar. I showed you guys a big preview of the mod yesterday on Live with Frosty. And I'll be editing more and more of that mod. I don't know that it'll be done anytime soon. I thought I was 50% done. But I just keep coming up with more ideas. And I have other mods that I want to do. There are mods out there that we've used frequently in previous DDH seasons that I want to make my own version of that have more or less fluff. You know? Some of these mods, they add too much or it's not vanilla enough for me. And then some of these mods, they don't quite hit the mark. We'll still use external mods in DDH, but I want to have a suite of mods that we know works for us and accomplish our goals. So that's kind of what the purpose is. A Resident Evil Magnum, dude. A Resident Evil Magnum. There's so many guns in the game. There's got to be a Resident Evil Magnum. What does a Resident Evil Magnum look like? Resident Evil Magnum. Yeah. The Magnum revolver. I don't know if there's this exact Magnum. The standard power weapon in almost all Resident Evil games. Dude, one of these days I need to play some more Resident Evil, Apex. I know you would just love it. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome, Captain Crunch. Welcome, Bruce. So today's show is a chat interaction game, meaning you get to interact with me while we play. You will join via the chat, and the game will be watching the chat room, and it will respond to what you write. Okay? So, just so you know, this is a multiplayer thing. It's you and me. But you don't have to download anything. All you got to do is chat with me. Now, the only caveat of this is for my YouTube guys, this game was made to work with Twitch chat, and therefore it doesn't exactly work well with YouTube chat. I'm sorry. But I have pinned my Twitch channel at the top of YouTube. I hate to do that, but I've done it. And if you want to vote and participate, you can. Otherwise, I'll still be reading all of your chats. I'll still be responding to you. Okay? I'll still be responding to you. We'll still have a good time. All right. So let's get into the game. All right. All right. Now, this game has a very specific soundtrack, so I'm actually going to mute my music today because I think that the game's music really is immersive for what we're doing. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Ha 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 ha. Can you hear it? Is it too low? Is it too loud? Welcome, Tater. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's a little low. Let's see if I can raise it. How about that? Is that good, chat? Very good. All right. So, we are going to continue the game. King Felix II of the Fragburger dynasty, presiding over the kingdom of the barons of the march, the patricians of the coast, and the counts of the east. We started on May 15th. Very cool. I love that. Is it too late to enter? You can enter at any time. We haven't even started yet, but we're about to. All right, now, in order to enter, you have to type !join and then your pronouns. So like !join and then she, space she. !join space he. !join space they. It's up to you. I don't care what your pronouns are, but maybe you do. You put what you want. There you go. And it's going to assign you to a team. It's going to assign you to a team. Join Tater. We have 2 Taters. One of them is a they, them. Incredible. Incredible. Well, we already have enough to get started, so I'm not going to delay us any further. I'm going to get us started on the gameplay. But even after we begin, you can still play. So what I need from you in the chat is if you see new people show up, all you got to do is tell them they can join with that command. It'll be on the screen anyway. But we want to make sure that they know they can join. Shall we? All right, this is the brand new king, King Felix II. His father, last time we played, was a very successful king. Extremely successful. He united the land. He brought prosperity to all. And he was a fabled, the peasants loved him. Ultimately, like all kings, he died, leaving behind in his wake his son, King Felix II. And that is who we will be playing today, King Felix II. We will begin, as always, with my path to victory. How do I intend to win this game? I'm also going to move my camera because I know that I'm in the way. Oh. I moved the wrong thing. Wrong camera. Let's see. Hold on. It does not want to cooperate. All right, let's see. Let's do flip it and reverse it. All right, I'm down here now. Hi, how you doing? I'm Deadman. Nice to meet you. All right. So, Your Majesty, we have some big boots to fill. With your father out of the picture, the nobles are looking for an opportunity to replace you. When you die, how do you hope that the kingdom will remember you? Well, the Asmodean Empire to our south has been causing quite a bit of problems, so a conqueror wouldn't be bad. My father was already considered an architect of a golden age, so I don't think I'll do that. But we do have quite high farming, so I'll say the father of a nation. Interesting. Are you concerned for the well-being of the commoners or hoping for a favorable passage in the history books? I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's overall farming. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Allow me to introduce myself to the council. To the counts of the East. I was dismayed at your father's passing, says Mikey. I'm sure you were, Mikey. To the patricians of the coast, unlikely potato. Oh, you're beautiful, potato. I love your hair and your dress. I always thought you would look good in a green dress, potato. A pleasure, your august majesty. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. I doubt that, potato. I doubt it. and the barons of the march, DK Foxen. Hail and well met. Under your leadership, we'll whip this kingdom into shape, now won't we? The introductions are done. The nobles begin to argue. Is this what my father fought so hard for? On to my coronation. I'm a king after all. I should be coronated. Your Majesty, it was an honor to serve your father. But now it's your time to wear the crown. As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. I will get into my waterproof robes then. Shall we call the nobles in? This will be the first vote. I'm going to start the vote now, but I'm also going to let you vote for as long as you need, guys. You will type exclamation vote A, B, C, or D to cast your vote. What kind of coronation should be held for the new king? A lavish parade with jugglers and fountains? A religious ceremony that honors the ninth god? Throw the king into the river, or troops shall bear the king through the streets atop a shield? What do you think? How should the king be coronated in his own kingdom? This is my first, your first act as my council, my first act as king. What do you think? Very nice, very nice. Overwhelmingly, you want to host a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine. Well, you know what? My father was incredible. I don't mind a lavish parade. We'll do it. A lavish parade. Let me see if I can move my head just a little bit higher, huh? So you can see just a little bit more of me. There we go, there we go. All right. Host a lavish parade. The coronation is a great success. Jugglers, wine, fireworks, and feast. It has an impact on your treasury, of course, but what doesn't? Wonderful. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the first season of my reign, King Felix II, the spring of 999. Yeah, I'm like a little kid. Guys, can I participate? I'm hydrated. Wonderful. Lennox of the DK Foxen 83 bloodline, well-known marcher elder, stands before a blazing hearth, shouting and swearing. When the barons of the march back down from a fight, never! I know you'll do whatever it takes to put me, your rightful monarch, on the throne. Barons, aka just DK Foxen right now. What scheme should the barons pursue to overthrow the new King Felix and place their own claimant, Lennox, on the throne? DK, should you lower your own defiance? Should you lower the stability of the kingdom? Should you develop gunpowder and lower the authority of the kingdom? You are the sole voter. It is up to you, DK Foxen. They will make a doppelganger of the king. You don't get a vote on this one, Tater, but yours is probably next. The barons have voted for a doppelganger. The barons will swap the real king for a perfect doppelganger. But first, they must gain the trust of the spy master. To advance their scheme, the barons must keep defiance at 4 or less in 4 seasons. Their defiance is currently 2. Dorian of the Tater Chaos 120 family, legendary coastal prodigy, scribbles with a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, speaking calmly. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of King Felix II. Something must be done. Patricians, aka Tater and Potato, what scheme should the patricians pursue to overthrow the new king and place Dorian, Tater's cousin, on the throne. Should they raise their own trade, perform an uprising, or do subterfuge? Their trade is already at 10, it can't go higher. So they're already winning this one, if that's their plan. This is your chance to vote, Tater. She agrees with Potato. The Taters are working together, guys. Voting is closed, and they will have a monopoly on the trade. They will privatize this entire damn kingdom. But first, they must build up their industry. To advance their scheme, the patricians must raise their trade to 5 or more in 4 seasons. Lastly are the counts. Sasa of the Mikey Gage dynasty. Notorious former hermit leans delicately on a podium, speaking in a melodious voice. My fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false King Felix II wears the crown. Voting is open to Mikey Gage currently. Mikey, how will you overthrow me, the king, Felix II, and put Sasa on the throne? Sorcery, intimidation, or ascension? How does he have so much money? Because he played last time. And you keep your money if you're logged in with Twitch or whatever. Ascension, lower their own faith. Their faith is already 1. Can it go any lower? These scoundrels, these necromancers in the hills. What's up, Yammy? Welcome, Brick. What scheme should the counts pursue to overthrow the new king and place their preferred claimant on the throne? Well, quite simple, ascension. Brick, join us. Type join followed by your pronouns. Exclamation join. These are the current teams on the left, above my head. Yami, welcome to the counts. Good to have you. Join Brick Brock. Brick, welcome to the Barons. Good to have you. The counts plan to induct the king into their secret cult and offer him immortality in exchange for the throne. First, they must reduce the power of the Eastern Church. To advance their scheme, the counts must lower their faith to 4 or less in 3 seasons. Now, as a reminder, these are your current schemes. You win if your scheme is accomplished, but only if the other schemes of the other teams are not accomplished, and only if I don't accomplish my goal of seeing a great farming revolution in the kingdom. So, keep your goals in mind. There are 3 stages that you have to get through in order to accomplish your goal. There's also another way to win, which is open rebellion against the king. I don't recommend that. Okay? Shall we? By royal decree, I get to tweak the laws governing how the council votes. It's up to me. It's up to me. I will choose the monarch's golden choice. And we have 3 things to do. First, the honor guard. One evening, you're sitting up in bed reading some paperwork. Welcome back, Luca. Here are the teams right now, Luca. Feel free to join us. One evening, you're sitting up in bed reading some paperwork when a filth-encrusted peasant wanders into your bedchamber, as bold as brass. Hello, you Madge. Glad I finally found you. This place is a bloody maze. Mind if I take a seat? Who are you, sir? Me name's Quackin' Tony, you Madge. Pleased to meet ya. Listen, I've got a bloody great idea for you. What if we tied a bunch of birds to a knight? I reckon you could get some aerial troops and totally dominate the battlefield. Before Quacking Tony can explain further, your marshal bursts into the bedchamber, sword drawn. I'm so sorry, Your Majesty. I should have come sooner. I have no idea where the palace guard are. Do you want me to kill this intruder? I'm a man of the people. We will vote on Quacking Tony's idea. Whatever you say, Your Majesty. She goes and gathers up your council, who trickles into their hall in pajamas, rubbing sleep from their eyes. They don't look particularly pleased to be woken up. Well, guys, we're voting on Quacking Tony's idea to tie birds to knights for the purposes of aerial combat. I think that this would be a grand idea. Personally, I think this would be a grand idea. And I think it's the type of idea that would benefit the Lords of the March. That's what I think. Now, if you agree with me, vote for the Lords of the March. Shall you? Yes? Now's your chance to vote. The voting is in. The voting has begun. Vote, vote, vote. Vote, vote, vote. Don't you want to vote? Of course you want to vote. Of course you want to vote. You're broke, Potato. Don't lie to me. Look at you. You're broke. Mikey's so much more wealthy than you. You know you want coin. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Here we go. The voting is in. Voting is closed. It'll be done in the march. We need an Air Force, guys. Under Quacking Tony's close supervision, a flock of ravens are tied to a marcher knight. Instead of flying, the knight is lost in a flurry of mad pecking and pooping. Quacking Tony insists you merely use the wrong type of bird. Further experiments are conducted with owls, eagles, geese, woodpeckers, ostriches, and little graves before hundreds of marcher troops quit in disgust. Never good. Sorry about that, marchers. Needless to say, the whole thing is an embarrassing failure. Look, we had to try. My father was a man of the people. Quacking Tony found his way into here. We had to try. Your Majesty, if that peasant had been a maniac with a crossbow, I dread to think what could have happened. If one thing's clear, it's that you need an honor guard to keep you safe. Not like the pathetic watch. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all else. I see. Well, you know, my father and my bloodline, we are of the patricians. And patrician gladiators are quite competent warriors. But the best warriors in our entire kingdom, although we have few, the best warriors in our entire kingdom. Kaito, I thought you bought the game, Kaito. Why doesn't it list you as, and you're a they-them, dude. I love that, Kaito. I love that. I thought did you not link your Twitch account? You crazy boy. You crazy boy. You crazy boy, you. And you're a they-them now. I love that. Well, I've already decided who I want, and it's the veterans of the march. I consider them to be the most trustworthy. I've made my decision already. The veterans of the march. The veterans arrive a few weeks later. They march into the throne room in perfect formation, hands on their sword hilts. Each soldier sports a bigger scar than the last. Nice. On to a prediction. Count Phoenix, Your Majesty, excellent news from beyond the sky. As your highness knows, I'm an amateur astronomer. I've seen that a solar eclipse is on its way, visible from the east. We must encourage the kingdom to gather beneath the dark sun to experience this once-in-a-lifetime event. Great God, no. An eclipse is a warning from the ninth god, a sign that the kingdom has fallen to shadow, says Brickfail. Yeah, the patricians do have a majority, that's true. All the nobles start talking at once. Some are excited. Some are horrified, but all are very loud. What will we do? What will we do? I think that we should encourage people to witness the event, but it's really the church that we need here. That's my personal view. That's my personal view. Religious mumbo jumbo, we need God in a time like this. Fine. These sun-obsessed fools should focus on their own land, perhaps. Not the sky. Not the sky. Voting is open. Voting is open. If you vote C, I'll pay you 500 shillings. Tourism. Money. Shillings. Don't you want it? Don't you want shillings? Free cash on Team C. Vote C for cash. C for cash. Isn't the gold wonderful? Yes, gold. Gold shillings for you and yours. Cash is cash, team, dude. The cash is cash, team. Voting has closed. Congratulations. These sun-obsessed fools will focus on their own land, not the sky. They're insolent, but farming has gone way up. Farming has gone way up, chat. Wonderful. Next, a call for apprentices. Uh-oh, is this Pepe? Kaito! Unfortunate tidings, your esteemed highness. A meddling wizard has set up shop in Zirconos. I believe it's Brzzt, the Lord of the Bells. Brzzt. Tell me more about this wizard. Wizards have managed to tame creation itself, your highness. They wield untold power. They're naturally distrusted by the church. Even the High Inquisitor wouldn't dare move against them openly. Brzzt has influence over sound and its counterpart, silence. Though this power seems meager compared to all other wizards, they are not to be underestimated. They put out a call for new apprentices, which is a rare event. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many. Droves of unwashed, glory-seeking laborers from all over the coast are lining up for their chance. Not just peasants, I, Phoenix, who is against this idea in the chat but not in the game, have also decided to apply. The competition will be fierce, but those serfs are no match for I. I will be the most powerful noble this council's ever seen. You, says Kaito, you couldn't put your clothes on if it wasn't for your servant's help. We can't let this go ahead, says Kaito. Not only is it heresy, it presents a clear and dangerous conflict of interest. What do you mean a conflict of interest, Kaito? Well, wizards only answer to themselves, your highness. Yemifex's power would be unmatched, such that the entire kingdom could not stand against him. Oh my god! Even an apprentice on the council would be disastrous. Count Phoenix could use magic to interfere with votes, or you for that matter. We're going to have a council vote on this. Okay? We're going to have a council vote on this. All right? We can allow him to become the apprentice, or we can require he forfeit his noble title. But I will not forbid a nobleman from his own decisions. I veto option C. What is your say? Do we allow Yema Phoenix to go and become a wizard, Harry? Or do we require he forfeits his noble title in order to become a wizard? What do you think, chat? What do you think? Pay up, bro, says Luca. Yeah, pay up. Give us your money if you're gonna go. If you're gonna go be a wizard, give me your cash. Yeah, you heard him. Give me your cash. I'm rich anyway, says Kaito. Well, this money goes to me, not you. I will take his money. Yema Phoenix can become an apprentice, but he must forfeit his noble title. Kaito agrees. Why I has no crown on my tag? That's a good question. Tater, did you sign in on Twitch with your account? So when you open up the game, there's like, I don't know if it's under options. I can't get there right now without closing the game, but you have to log in with your Twitch account. Did you do that? What's up, Magnificent X? This is a chat interaction game called King of the Castle. I'm the king and you are various nobles of various different houses. If you want to vote, yeah, you got to be on Twitch. If you want to watch, I can still read your chats, though. Tater did not read the DM I sent her, my lords. I sent her a DM explaining this. She did not read my DM. Banish her to the oubliette. Send her to the oubliette. Send her to the oubliette. Sorry about the ads. You can use an ad blocker. I won't be offended. I won't be offended. Yema Phoenix begins his journey to Zirconos immediately. Welcome, Magnificent X. Good to see you. Count Yema Phoenix has died. Oh, not really, though. His successor, Count Yema Phoenix II, inherits the throne. The great wizard Yema Phoenix! Not yet. He's simply a apprentice, chat. Brizik's presence in Zirconos attracts all sorts of visitors, though the power of their latent magic starts to wilt crops for miles around. I don't like that. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the summer of 999. Now it is time for an auction. This is a different thing. These structures that you see here can be built. The structures will be built in the area that is colored. So these top ones will be built in the barons, the counts, the patricians. Your money is listed here above my head. It is also listed on the right-hand side. Since we only have so many people, I'll keep this screen behind me up. You will vote and you will auction. You will say exclamation fund, and then you will say X is the character code, such as A, B, C, D, E, or F, and Y, which is the amount that you want to pledge to vote. Okay? I will begin the auction, but this one is timed and it does not let me extend it, just so you know. There you go, my lords and ladies. Enjoy your spending. Enjoy your coin. Enjoy your spending and your cash. You crazy people, you. Enjoy it. Spend it while it lasts. Who needs money anyway? Right? Who needs money anyway? Oh! Magnificent with the resub! The sub! Thank you, Magnificent! Magnificent! Oh my goodness! They'll stop now that you've subbed, I think. You might have to refresh. These were the buildings that were funded. But guys. I have to thank Magnificent because he subbed to me in order to get rid of Twitch ads, I think. But I still appreciate the support. Much love to you. Enjoy your new emotes. Enjoy being a part of this. I appreciate you. And I have a little something for you. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is for you. Thank you very much, Magnificent X. Thank you very much. Party boys. Party. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, Kaito. Guys, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. Sorry about the ads. Twitch is, we got to feed Bezos. Bezos is 5,000 pounds in a dungeon somewhere, and we have to keep feeding him or else he'll break out and eat the rest of us. All right, we have 2 missions left. No. All right, first I need to find a spouse. Your Majesty, it's important you find a spouse. Yes, I want a woman. Bring me someone good. All right, let's talk about the Baron's arms shortage. No, that's me. I wear the leggings. I'm wearing them now. I have very fit legs, and I'm tall. Don't be jealous of my sexy form. My liege, the situation in the march is dire. Our once proud army lies in ruins, says Brick. Now the Ashmodean border lies undefended. I'm sure I don't need to remind you of the danger the Ashmodeans pose. We must bolster our dwindling forces in the march. Who knows what will happen to our people without protection? What can be done to address the military downturn of the march? Well, the march clearly needs soldiers. I don't think that we can force farmers to join the military. Our goal is to have high farming, so that just won't work. We could conduct a recruitment campaign, or we could hire a mercenary company. I'd be fine with hiring mercenaries personally. I don't think that's a bad idea. But I think an extensive marcher recruitment campaign would be better. Marchers should defend the march, shouldn't they? Shouldn't they? So what I say is, let us vote. And I implore you, vote with me. Allow us to fund the marchers recruitment campaign. Marchers for the march. Marchers for the march. Marchers for the march, I say. Vote B. I implore you to vote B. I implore you to vote B. Very nice, my dears. Very nice. I'm glad we're all in agreement here. Hopefully the king's authority is enough to get us some soldiers in the march. Thank you, Lord DK Foxen. Thank you, Luca, Yama Phoenix, Tater, and Mikey for agreeing with the king. You're all wonderful. Surely the peasants just need encouragement. We'll have posters of me, okay, featuring my likeness, pointing at the reader with text saying, King Felix II needs you. Put it everywhere. Put it on every wall. Look, it worked! It worked! The people love me. The March's defiance has gone down, and their military has gone from 0 to 2. It worked! They love me, Kaito. It's not luck. It's not luck. I'm handsome. There's a difference. There's a difference, Kaito. You just wish you were as handsome as me. One day you'll be king. Ha ha! Yeah, right. Never. A wizard calling herself Pestia keeps sending these dreadful letters. They smell horrible and dissolve into cockroaches as soon as they're read, says Yama Phoenix II. She demands access to the east on the day of the eclipse. She will use the power of the darkened sun for some special magic. But wizards are trouble. Yes, your father is a wizard, Yama Phoenix. I don't know that we should mess with this wizard. Pestia, I don't think that she's like a pestilence thing, right? We're not gonna mess with her. I veto C. I'm not charging her. That would be the wrong move. My father and the former kings learned not to mess with wizards. Okay, I'm not making her pay. I veto that. But I leave the decision to you all. No money and no balls. How dare you? How dare you? No money and no balls. I have balls, okay, but you're right, I am broke. Well, then you pay, says Luca. Someone's got to pay, says Luca. Someone's got to pay. Voting has closed. Magnificent, since you're here, in the chat, if you'd like to play, use the join command, !join, and then space and type he. !join, space, he. And it'll assign you to one of these 3 teams. Why do I have 1 coin, says Potato. Rigged? You know what you did, Potato. You know what you did. !join, he. That way you can get in here with us, Magnificent. I'd love to have you. 1 coin. We have the best trade. Give money. Magnificent. Look at that beautiful mustache he has, guys. Look at that beautiful mustache. He's a they, them, but he's got a beautiful mustache. Fine, I will pay the counts to host. I will pay. A decent amount of gold soothes Count Yama Phoenix's worries. Pestia travels to the east, leaving a trail of dead flies and wilting vegetation in her wake. Meanwhile, the eclipse approaches. I don't feel very good about this Pestia thing, I have to be honest. They didn't have king. How uninclusive. Oh, they have king, baby. Just the one and the only. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the autumn of 999, the reign of King Felix II. Now it's time for taxes. Now it's time for taxes, guys. And nobody likes taxes. I don't like taxes. You don't like taxes. But taxes are what fund the kingdom. Taxes are what keep the kingdom going well. Taxes are what makes us money. Taxes is how we're going to build an army for the marchers, and it's how we're going to pay the counts to host Pestia. It's the only way. It's the only way. I'm sorry about this. Let's see. What is everyone's wealth at? Look, you're all quite wealthy. You're all quite wealthy, especially the patricians. The patricians are incredibly wealthy. Look at that. Look at that. The counts are wealthy. Oh my God. The counts are wealthy. The counts are wealthy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you don't stay wealthy by paying tax. You have 3K. Yeah, I do. And it's wrong that you're richer than me, Kaito. It's not right. Okay? It's not right. You don't stay wealthy by paying taxes. That's the kind of verbiage the king doesn't want to hear. Okay? That's the kind of verbiage the king does not want to hear. But don't worry. Plenty of coin. Plenty of coin to go around. Plenty of coin to go around. Look, and now, Kaito, look. Now things are right. Now you're not as rich as me, Kaito. Things are correct now. In the long run, it all worked out. It all worked out. All right, let's see. Dynasty event. Oh, this is crazy. I've never seen this. Stop the presses. Your Serene Highness, some anonymous firebrand in the coast is spreading the most inflammatory pamphlets. They're casting aspersions against you. That printing press. Indeed, but something different this time. They're not just calling you a bad king, they're criticizing the very concept of monarchy. This is republicanism. And not in Kurth, but in our very own kingdom. What should we do? What should we do, my lord? Oh my God. Well, we can't allow the pamphlet to circulate. That much is clear. And we can't forbid the use of the printing press. We need it. This is a good technology. What we'll do is we'll find the person responsible. And since you're all broke, I'm willing to pay you 500 gold pieces each. 500 gold pieces each to vote my way. 500 gold pieces each to vote my way. You know you need money. Hell, I need money. We all need money. Vote A, my lords. I implore you. Vote A, and we'll all be wealthy, and we'll find this culprit, and we'll waterboard him. We'll waterboard him. That's non-violent, right? Technically, he can't kill you. It's fine. Why not? It's not like he's going to, an example needs to be, let's find him. But we're not going to kill the people who have the pamphlet. Just because somebody puts something in your hands doesn't mean that it's you did anything wrong, How should the council respond to these dangerous Republican pamphlets? I will find the troublemakers, Your Majesty, rest assured. The printer is a rogue professor, kicked out of Quail University for his anti-monarchist thought. We succeeded. He smuggled a printing press out of the university, and to make matters worse, he was funded by the Republic of Kurth. Foreigners meddling in our non-elections. Foreigners meddling in our non-elections. We cannot allow foreigners to meddle in our non-elections. The troublesome professor is put to death. His printing press is thrown into the river, and for now, you sleep easy. Those scholars can be killed, ideas cannot. And for the first time, people across the kingdom are seriously contemplating the idea of a republic. But for now, it remains a fringe faction of rabble-rousers and radicals. Let's talk about getting laid. Yes. Fair enough. Portraits. Okay, let's see the ones I'm supposed to date here. Who do we have? Desdemona, the eldest daughter of the Yama Phoenix dynasty. Forgive the snooty expression. I'm sure that's caused by an errant brushstroke. She had a laboratory installed in her castle and spends most of her time there, conducting bizarre experiments. The other counts think she's mad because she treats the peasants far too nicely. Oh, I like that sound. I like the sound of her. From the coast we have Petronella, the wealthy heiress to Lord Patrician Luca's estate. I mean, just look at her. She's gorgeous. She's got huge tracts of land. And apparently a silver tongue, too. Her interests are typical of the coast. Money, 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 and making more of it. There was also scandal where she was publicly critical of the church, but nothing came of it. Could be worse, but could be better. And finally, we have Yvette, scion of the prestigious, magnificent X bloodline. A timid woman, not the kind that does well in the march, bless her. Perhaps the palace will suit her better. Like most of the barons, her great passion is hunting. No beast is safe from her crossbow. She got into a fight with the local bishop a couple of years back and gave him a bloody nose. Sounds like a laugh. What do you think, my lord? What do you think? I think I've made my decision. Show me Desdemona again. I know that she's a bit snooty, but she's a thinker, and she loves the people, like my father. I've made my decision. Desdemona of the East, please come and join me. Join me, dear Desdemona, my new wife. Join me. What's left? Wizardly meddling. Count Yemma Phoenix. 7th, take us. How many times do I have to tell you? He's not my responsibility anymore. It was your father who stole all my gold, says Kaito. Kaito! You just lost $800. Oh my God! Oh my God! Have mercy, your highness. The former Count, Yemma Phoenix the great powerful wizard apprentice, turned up to my estate demanding all my jewelry and valuables, saying they were needed in Zirconos for research. He kept babbling about strong electromagnetic fields. I warned you wizards cause trouble. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, what should we do to solve this, chat? Should we force Count Yemma Phoenix II to pay for his father's theft? Should we summon the wizard to answer for their apprentice's crime? Let's not do that. Should the patricians will have to do without their petty necklaces? C might be appropriate. What are they going to do anyway, right? I vote we fuck with the wizard. Let us not fuck with the wizard. Bring back my money, says Kaito. Bring back my money. Only Kaito voted to get his money back. That's so funny. That's so funny. The voting is tied. The king will have to be the tiebreaker. I vote that the patricians will have to do without their petty necklaces. Do without? But how will my peers see my ostentatious wealth? Stick to holding grand feasts like the rest of us, says Yemma Phoenix. Of course, the robberies do not stop there. More patricians are soon deprived of their valuables, chickens, cigars, family heirlooms, and a few prized hogs. All in the name of progress, or so the great powerful wizard apprentice Yemifix claims. Potato, you are broke as hell, dude. You are broke as hell. I've never seen you so broke, Potato. And that was the winter of 999. Ladies and gentlemen, meatbags of all ages, allow us to ring in the new year. This is an important moment. It's the year 1000. 1000! All of the computers are going to cease to work. Hopefully the peasants don't follow suit. In a tiny village far to the east, 2 counts meet in a derelict tavern. No one dares even glance in their direction. Peasants all across my lands are rejecting the ninth god, says Mikey. Yes, and tithe collectors don't dare knock at the door to my keep, says Sasa. Now we must not falter. If the king grows proud, we can offer him the ultimate reward, immortality. For the next stage of their scheme, the counts must raise authority to 5 or more in 4 seasons. By royal decree, we can tweak the laws. By royal decree, we can tweak the laws. By royal decree, we can tweak the laws. By royal decree. At this time, I will not tweak the laws. Defiance is too high. One or more regions are considering rebellion. Rebelling will stop the region from advancing their scheme, and they can't be taxed in the normal part of the votes. The patricians of the coast are on the verge of rebellion. I don't have a way to show you the goals. It has to do that on its own. But you can kind of see them here. Yeah, here we go. The patricians, raise your own trade to at least 5 by next season. The barons, lower your own defiance to 4 or less by the next season. And the counts, raise the kingdom's authority to at least 5 in 4 seasons. There is a vote. Do the patricians want to rebel? 0 of them have voted to do so. Patricians may vote to rebel by typing !rebel. It's time for the royal wedding. I don't have time for this rebellion shit. Desdemona, my dear sweet Desdemona. I like that you're a thinker, Desdemona. Meet me in St. Bertrand's Cathedral. I do take this woman to be my wife. I do take her to be my wife. What a wonderful occasion that was. A shame we couldn't follow the Eastern traditions. What's a wedding without a little bloodletting? I hope you're not feeling homesick already. Of course not. I never get homesick, actually. I can't abide people who waste time dwelling on the past. What are your thoughts on the state of the kingdom? The kingdom looks after itself. In my spare time, I tinker with some very complicated science stuff. I won't get into it, though. You wouldn't understand the half of it. That's so interesting. It is, isn't it? Anyway, to continue on the subject, you gently fall asleep to the sound of Desdemona droning on about herself. What's up, Desdemona, my dear, sweet Desdemona? 2 of the lords of the rebellion have voted to rebel. The patricians are going to rebel. The patricians are going to rebel. In the capital, the solar eclipse does little except make the day a little gray. But the east is a different story. Your Majesty, it was glorious. Pestia stood beneath the dark sun, stretched out her arms, and she was engulfed in a whirlwind of insects. But she remained silent as they burrowed into her coat. In the end, the air calmed, and there was a horrid smell of rotting meat. But she transformed wasps and cockroaches into diamonds and handed them over as a reward. Everybody wins, right? That's not all. Pestia has set up in Lagin's tallest church, saying it's her new tower for her experiments. It's sacrilege. Your Majesty, we should handle this carefully. Pestia will cause even more trouble if she's in a bad mood. I suggest we trick her into leaving, perhaps with a juicy rumor about the magic city of Sarakan. Bloody hell, we don't know if that will work. I just want some of that treasure those counts got from that damn wizard. How do we deal with the troublesome necromancer, Pestia? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what we should do. The counts should have to compensate the barons for the magical damage. That's what I think. And if you agree with me, I will pay you 500 shillings. 500 shillings for the counts to compensate the barons for their magical damage. Don't you want money? The counts should have to compensate the barons. That much is clear. The barons are awfully broke. That much is clear. Cash is cash. Money is money. Let us vote and let us make hay while the sun is shining. I'm fine with 350 cash and fucking the wizard. No chance. Pestia would never go for a potato like you. Many counts argue, but the council's decision is final. They begrudgingly hand over their hard-earned cash. The March is now loyal. The Baron's wealth has increased, and their farming is now abundant. But the Marcher peasants are still very nervous, while Pestia remains near. As the number of rats rise, they mutter that the king is being controlled by eldritch magic. Eventually, once whatever hidden concoction she's been working on is complete, she disappears as suddenly as she arrived. No one dares go near the church, and it falls into a nasty, smelling ruin. Goodness gracious. The art of the deal, Bruce. Bruce says, I learned that from the art of the deal, Bruce. I love Pestia, okay? I love Pestia, because she's a winner, Bruce. She's a winner. All right? Welcome, Pinkerton! Pinky is officially one of the counts. One of the counts. Criminals or corporals? My liege, your prisons are overcrowded with the March's army or understaffed. A solution presents itself. My prisons are overcrowded? Oh, aye, the watch have been arresting people like there's no tomorrow, but that's good. It provides us with an opportunity. The law forbids criminals from joining the army. I say we overturn that outdated legislation and start putting people out of cells and into uniform, giving them a chance to redeem themselves. But what about murderers? Especially murderers. They have prior experience, my lord. I think that this is a good idea. I agree. The Marcher army should recruit criminals. Okay? Of all kinds. Of all kinds. Alright? Including murderers. No, not murderers. Just criminals of petty crime. Just petty crime criminals. Okay? Or maybe we simply allow them. We don't force them to do it. We allow the entire kingdom's army to sign up as criminals if they so choose. What do you think? I say A. Vote A. Vote A and bring these criminals into the army. Better that they serve the kingdom than serve against it. Better that they serve the kingdom than serve against it, I say. Let them join. Why not? Let them join. They can join. It's not going to hurt anything. We need everyone in there. All right? We need everyone in there. The voting has closed. Should the army be allowed to recruit criminals from prison? We will allow them to do so. Grand, though I wish we could recruit murderers, a shame to let natural talent go to waste. Are you serious, your majesty? Says Pinky. Does the king's justice mean nothing these days? Are we supposed to allow the barons to fill their ranks with common thieves and vagabonds? That's exactly what happens. The Marcher's army swells with criminals rescued from their damp cells and offered a second chance at life. Mostly, they seize it with gratitude. It's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out, guys. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the spring of the year 1000 of the reign of King Felix II. Deep in the forests of the March, Baron D.K. Foxon has gone boar hunting with a few of his close friends. You said you had a surprise for me? Indeed, and here it is. Behold. Your Highness, what are you doing here at such an hour? I'm sorry, I hope you didn't overhear any... Quit babbling, you blowhard. That's not the king. It's a peasant. Who's the king's spitting image? Great God, and just in time. The spy master trusts us so much that she's not noticed that we're fortifying the border. That means we can move on to the next phase, kidnapping the king and putting this fool in his place. How do we manage that? We need the kingdom in utter chaos. Bad enough that the king's abduction can slip past unnoticed. The barons need to lower the stability to 4 or lower in the next 2 seasons. In a dingy seaside tavern, 2 patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The Count's economy has never been better. We're making more money than I know what to do with. Money breeds money. I've made a series of investments to improve our profits even more. But what do we do with all the rest of this gold? Time to start buying things. Land, roads, bridges. We buy the whole kingdom, piece by piece. But first, the king must be in desperate need of our gold. To advance their scheme, the patricians must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 2 seasons. Here are your schemes and your progress on your schemes. Here are your schemes and the progress of your schemes. You still peasant, huh? Oh yeah, Kaito's peasant. He's actually pretty rich. Mikey is the richest man in the kingdom aside. Oh, he's even richer than me. Mikey! Mikey! Where did you get all that cash? Mikey? Where did you get it? Felix, I've come to ask a favor. I purchased a very rare reagent from one of my chemical studies. The powdered tusk of a greater black March boar. Lamentably, it's been delayed. I was buying it from Baron Magnificent X. Speak to them about it for me, would you? Yes, of course, my dear. How delightful. Let me know how you fare. Baron Magnificent X, come here. Let us speak. There's a problem. You have something for my wife. Why can't you give me the tusk? It was stolen by a jealous rival hunter, Baron Brickfail. By rights, it was my trophy to sell. I killed the beast fair and square, but they disagreed. Said it was on their land, so it should be theirs. I've been trying to get it back so I can present it to your wife as promised, to no avail. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'll order it returned to you. Desdemona receives the tusk before the week's end. She's most pleased with it. I did it. I made my wife happy. By the way, PDM, don't put a lot of effort into your wife. Just trust me. A clairvoyant visit. Oh, it's Countess I am Pinky. Your Highness, Your Majesty, Count Mikey Gage has been having prophetic dreams. It is true. I can part the veil betwixt now and some ways off. This is ridiculous. I look into the future, and it speaks through me, no more, no less. For one thing, Lady Patrician Tater Chaos should beware of onion soup. But Tater goes so well with onions. What do you mean beware onion soup for Tater? Oh, Potato himself, Unlikely Potato, finally has some cash. And the color green will bring bad fortune to noble patrician Kaito. That's fucked, because Kaito's whole color is green. But that's my favorite color, says Kaito. Please, Your Grace, have them foretell the future for the council. We could gain insight into great mysteries. It could go either way. It could go either way, frankly. It could go either way. But I think, personally, that Count Mikey Gage should be an official advisor. He's a magician after all. He's a seer. I could use such a capability. Vote C, my lords. I implore you to vote C. Make Count Mikey Gage an official advisor of the council. He's a seer. He can see the future. Why wouldn't we have him on the council as my personal advisor to the king? I'm sorry being a furry allows me to get money, okay? There you go. See? He knows, you know, I know, we all know. A jail cell? Put him in jail? But he can see the future. He would see that coming. Mikey, welcome to your position as an official counselor. Sure enough, Count Mikey Gage has a canny sense of what's best for the East. The East Defiance is grumbling, their trade is dominant, and their farming just can't go higher. But the other nobles mutter this seeing the unseen is no more than a disguise for giving out special treatment. Can the king really be trusted with this charlatan constantly whispering in his ear? The jousting tournament is next, ladies and gentlemen. Your Majesty, the Barons of the March have invited you to a jousting tournament. That's incredible. That's incredible. I will compete myself. Superb, Your Majesty. I will send your acceptance directly. I will participate in the joust. Makes perfect sense. And that was the summer of the year 1000, the reign of King Felix II. It's time for an auction. Do you remember how this works? At the top is a description. You will type !fund, X, and then Y. All of your money can be seen here. The poorest among you is Potato. Are you ready to begin the auction? We begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, my lords. What will you build? What will you build? I'm so curious to know what you will build, my lords. I'm so curious to know, what will you build? Will you build this or will you build that? Will you build that or will you build this? What will you build? What will you fund? What's on your mind? What will you build? I'm so curious. I'm curious to know. Do you even know what you want to build? Surely you want to build something like a beautiful statue of me, right? A big, beautiful statue of me, I think, would be appropriate. If I was you, I would build a statue of me. Why not? Why not? The statue of the king, with a cigar in his mouth and a tilted crown, giving the middle finger, right? Time's up. You built a library and a prison? A prison? Wow, you really funded this. You really funded this. The patricians are still on the verge of rebellion. Don't worry about them. 2 of the patricians have already voted for a rebellion. They need at least one more vote in order to rebel. Luca is the one leading the rebellion. And I'm sure Potato has voted for it as well. But will Kaito and Tater vote for the rebellion? That's the question. Or are they loyal to their king? That's why we built a prison, for these rebels. Your marriage has grown strong and steady. It's blossomed into something like love. It's high time you thought about an heir. Something's missing. You need a kid. My wife and I will have a child together. We're in love. There's no other way. That's the only way to do it. Oh, but there is a plague. Oh, no. A plague? Your Serene Highness, the coast has been struck with plague. A dancing plague. It affects everyone, even dogs and cats. It's spreading quickly. What do we do about the dancing plague? Well, obviously we have to have a quarantine. A law will do nothing. Allow us to have a quarantine, my lords. Allow us to have a quarantine of the affected villages. We know it's the smart thing. 2 weeks for the cure. All we need is 2 weeks to have a cure. Okay, if we can quarantine the affected villages, yes, it will hurt the trade of the patricians, but in 2 weeks, we will have a cure. And if we don't, we'll have Fauci torture some dogs. He can inject some dogs with medicines on their face or something, and it will surely cure this scenario. Doubtless. Sentence Pinky to death? Why would we do that? Voting is closed. Quarantine the villages. Though the move seems drastic, it's the only way to be sure that the plague does not become a serious problem. The patricians agree to enforce your quarantine. Only time will tell if it's an effective solution or not. And there's a special guest in the march. Oh no. The barons have assembled upon a jousting field, watching from tall stands. The place is buzzing with excitement. A servant straps on your armor and helps you mount your horse. She hands you a lance and you ride out onto the field. Welcome one and all, says DK Foxon. We have a most thrilling guest today. As you ride your horse past the stands, nobles gasp and stare. Wave enthusiastically. Cheering erupts and the nobles stamp so hard that the stands tremble. When the jousting starts, you realize your opponents swerve each time they approach you. They don't want to hurt a king. Puts a dent in the challenge, really. Very good reminder, Luca. Everybody make sure you hydrate. Bracing match, isn't it? I will withdraw, and I will watch instead. You graciously withdraw from the competition and take your place in the stands. You can't see much of the competitors' faces, but even as they race towards each other, they look more relaxed. As one of them is knocked from his horse, the audience applauds, whooping and cheering. And that was the end of the autumn of the year 1000, the reign of King Felix II. May he live forever and all time. Somewhere in the march, Baron DK Foxon sits at a banquet, gnawing on a greasy chicken leg. He and his fellow plotters discuss their plot. The kingdom's not exactly peaceful, but there's no way we could stage an abduction of the king without being noticed. We need chaos, says Lennox. The barons need to lower the stability to 4 or less. Sitting on a bench outside a sun-bleached villa, the patricians plot their scheme. The thrice-cursed king is still refusing to sell us any public land. It makes sense. The treasury is flush with coin. Patience, my friend. Let us bide our time until the king's gold runs out. They need the treasury to be 1,500 or less. Damn, Mikey did not spend a dime on that funding thing. No, he didn't. He's trying to become extraordinarily rich. Mikey. Oh, Mikey. Well, patricians, your land are in almost nearly active rebellion. Therefore, I'm going to need more of your money to prevent you from raising armies. That much is clear. To the barons, my dear sweet barons. You have been so loyal to me, my dear sweet barons. You've been so loyal to me. I will give you some coin. As for the counts, well, they have a lot of cash. And Mikey is way too rich. The patricians are still considering rebellion. They're now at 9 rebellion. Let us start in the march. Foul play. I have unfortunate jousting-related news from the march. Did someone fall off their horse? Well, in a manner of speaking, Countess Pinky was killed in a bout against Baron Magnificent X. Pinky was killed! Imagine dying, says Kaito. PoorDeadMan, don't put a lot of effort into your wife. Just trust me. She was killed. Her daughter, Countess I Am Pinky II, has joined. The Countess are calling for justice. Jousting is not too dangerous. Baron Magnificent X did nothing wrong. I think Countess Pinky signed up for this, and it's part of the sport, guys. I think it's part of the sport. We need to maintain the sport of jousting. We need to maintain the sport of jousting. She signed up for this. She signed up for this. She knows what she did. Vote A, I implore you. Vote A. She signed up for this. She signed up for this. She signed up for the joust. Even I signed up for the joust. Even I, the great powerful king, could have been hurt. Even I. Vote C, Chad jousting trial, dude. My lords, my ladies, I appreciate you agreeing with me. Pinky signed up for this. You know what she was getting into. The trade of the march is now prosperous. 4 of them have now voted to rebel. There's a troll in the dungeon. What's a troll? How did they get into our dungeon? We don't know. Let me talk with the troll. It tore a hole in the dungeon wall. How did it even get in? Through the catacombs would be my guess. These dungeons all back into various tunnels and crypts. What are the catacombs? A maze of tunnels and crypts that crisscross the whole city. Impossible to navigate. Most who go looking for a tomb never come back these days. I say, wake up. Gingerly, they poke it. One eye opens. What? Nice to meet you. Yes, you too. Who are you? I'm King Felix II. What? The King Felix II. Oh, spirits, I must not have been myself last night. How did you get in here? I'm exiled from my people, and it's been a pretty cold this winter, so I wandered into the catacombs and went in search of somewhere warm. Didn't know I'd end up here. Well, wherever here is. These are the dungeons of the royal palace. You mean to say that wall I broke belonged to you? Sorry. He seems very nice. He seems very nice. He seems very kind, actually. Would you like to stay? Really? Why? Well, I'm sure I could pay you to make use of your skills. That's a nice offer from you, Your Importance, but I think I'd rather just be getting out of your way. Make him repair the damage that he did. He's a troll. He can't fix a wall. I'll repair it. He climbs out of the room, right through the hole he created, and into the catacombs beyond. You order someone to patch it up and get back to bed for some much-needed shut-eye. It's been a strange night, really. Your Grace, you are of course the greatest king of this century, says Mikey. What are you doing, Mikey? Your Grace, I just want to tell you the truth. Your power could be even greater. Death comes to us all, but what if it didn't have to? What if you could be the greatest king for all the millennia? Mikey, that sounds sacrilegious. Perhaps it is, Your Majesty. But perhaps it's simply making use of the opportunities that the ninth god provides us, if you're strong enough to take them. The door bursts open. Oh, he got to you. First, no matter. The counts of agents everywhere, they've been building up their strength. There's something sinister afoot. Their aim is to recruit you into a cult of immortal blood drinkers. What a tale. All we want is to help the king. Is this true? Of course not. It's heresy of the highest order. The council must know. The council must know. Guys, I think the council should take a vote and force me to declare that I will never join this cult. And I will pay you 500 shillings to vote my way. 500 shillings. 500 shillings to vote my way, and I'm not joining this cult. And you will agree with me. We will make a law. We will pass a law. No kings and cults. We will have a no kings cults rally. And it will be great. It'll be the talk of the town. Everyone will know about it. Everyone. Voting has closed. The nobles leave you no choice. I sign a statement saying I'm not interested in immortality, not one bit. Not one bit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the winter of the year 1000. Allow us to ring in the first year of the new millennia together. While playing a game of chess in an austere castle, two counts of the East discuss their schemes against the crown. By Xenia's ashes, the king must get a grip on this kingdom. We can't allow him to join our secret society of immortals when he can hardly keep the crown on his head. The counts must raise the authority to at least 5. By royal decree, we can tweak the laws governing the land. I will get rid of the monarch's vote, and I will adopt the call for unity. The patricians have rebelled! The patricians have rebelled. There is an opening rebellion. Anarchy! At long last, the patricians have reached their boiling point. You are confronted in your throne room by Lady Patrician Tater Chaos 120, her smile gleaming in the light of the braziers. The patricians will bring you down. We will rise up and fight for Dorian, the true monarch. This is a formal declaration of war. The next time we see each other, we'll be on the battlefield. One day, Tater, one day, I will see your head on a spike. Lady Patrician Tater Chaos strides from your throne room without looking back. What are our chances? Pretty good. The patricians aren't exactly a military powerhouse. The leader of the rebellion is Luca. Look, he's already in the chat trying to convince people to rebel. Yes, Your Majesty. Hold on to that feeling. We're in the midst of a civil war now. A civil war. The opening strike. Do you smell that, my friend? Sorry, I think I stepped in. That's freedom. Freedom from the mad tyrant king, Felix II. At long last, we rise up against his oppression. But we must fight for it. We can launch a preemptive strike against the barons to cripple their military capabilities. If we suspect the counts may join our cause, we can call on them to war. We can also call upon the church to condemn the king, or send an assassin. This vote is for the patricians. Patricians, what will be your opening move in the rebellion? What will be your opening move in the rebellion? Patricians only. Green team gets to vote only. Green team only gets to vote. Voting is closed. The patricians smuggle a secret message to the counts. Dignified counts, too long have you suffered under the king's oppression. Why do you put up with this tyrant? Join us. He speaks truly. Why did we never think of this way? The counts are emboldened by the call to rebellion. Jousting fever in the march. I regret to inform you of a jousting-related petition. Why the regret? It's a splendid idea. Your Majesty, we must reinstate jousting as the official justice system. Trial by combat the way it used to be before the counts started sticking their noses in. Should trial by combat be reinstated? I think so. I think so. Accept it and donate some horses to the new system. It's the only way. It's the only way. Vote C. Vote C. I implore you to vote C. Everyone should vote C. Accept it. I will give horses. Vote C. A will fail. You're in rebellion, Kaito. You can't vote. Vote C, my lords. Vote C. My lords, vote C. The barons are delighted. The march reports less crime. And that was the spring of the year 1001. Here's our report. Here's the rebellion. Your quest for an heir is finally complete. Should I die, pass my crown to my son. The assembled nobles break into polite applause. Your Majesty, may I be the first to congratulate you on the birth of your son. What is his name? Felix the Third. Congratulations on finding an heir. Now you just need to fulfill your ambition to win the game. Vast armies darken the landscape like shadows of clouds. Flags are flying. The kingdom is gripped by civil war. At least that's what you imagine. Most of your time is spent in the safety of your palace. Your Majesty, the army of the coast is advancing on the capital, led by the traitorous cur, Luca. I've received word from the commander of our loyalist forces in the march. If they march now, they'll intercept the patricians in a matter of days. It's risky, but together they have a higher chance of defeating the cursed patricians. What are your orders, Majesty? The barons and the counts should join forces. We have our orders, but should we follow them? Barons, do you defy the orders and send your army to fight the rebels alone? Do you follow my orders and work with the counts to defeat the rebels once and for all? Or do you hang back and let the rebels march on the capital without challenge? I've been good to you, barons. Do not betray me. Your defiance is 0, please. Follow orders, barons. Follow orders. Vote B. Vote B, barons. Vote B. Voting is closed. The whole city holds its breath. Finally, she arrives at your throne looking composed. Your Majesty, as you ordered, the barons have turned their army around to link up with the counts. All according to plan. It all comes down to the next battle. We will prevail. It becomes clear that the Marcher's army's retreat has given the patricians free rein to pillage and plunder the march. The rampaging coastal troops descend on farms like locusts, taking everything to feed thousands of hungry soldiers. Look! Look! They've robbed you, barons. They've robbed you. But while the march suffers, the Marcher forces link up with the counts. Now the joint army will rush to meet them in open warfare. Along the coastal border, countless flags flap in the sea breeze. Warships crowd the harbors, unloading hordes of soldiers. The patrician troops are gathering in vast numbers. Oh, ninth above, think of the expense. Each of the soldiers is another mouth to feed, and it's coming from our pockets. We're risking more than our profits in this war. Our necks are on the line. We'd better be smart about it, and on that subject, I have several proposals to further boost our army for the trials ahead. Patricians, this is a vote for you only. Kaito, Tater, Luca, and Potato. What will you do to bolster your army in the rebellion? You would bring foreigners into our country. You would bring foreigners into our country. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. You would bring foreigners here to fight us? The Ashmodean mercenaries come highly recommended. But can we really absorb the cost? Their price is extortionate. This is the price of victory. Think of the future returns. They arrive, and their customs are very different. They play to Kaldavoga, the machine god. They claim that swords are alive and will grow angry if sheathed for too long. They battle every day. And that was the summer of the year 1001. Next up is the auction. The auction will be opening in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a big prison. You guys are building tons of prisons. You guys are building tons of prisons. We have quite the military-industrial prison-industrial complex. Kaito is being Tahik. What is Tahik? A month ago, battle was averted, but that battle cannot be postponed forever. The barons and the counts are all that stands between the patricians and the capital. A final battle. I'll send word to the counts saying that it's time to fight. We can only hope they listen to our orders. Counts! Mikey, Yama Phoenix and Pinky, I need you. Send the joint forces. A. Vote A. Mikey, Pinky, Yama Phoenix, vote A, please. Help us fight these rebels. Help us be rich together and maintain this kingdom. Help us, lords. Help us. When she finally returns, it's not in the manner you'd hope. She carried into your throne room on a stretcher. What happened to you? It's nothing. Just let me make my report. We caught the patricians in a classic pincer movement. The counts attacked from one side, the barons charged in from the other. But the patricians had occupied a highly defensible hilltop. I thought our combined forces were enough. But they prepared a few surprises of their own, hidden archers burning oil, a feigned retreat that suddenly turned back around and hit us where it hurt. They pulled out all the stops. It was a slaughter. All I remember is blood and screams, so much death. When they found me, I was under a pile of corpses with 6 arrows, they say. It's a miracle I survived at all. How could this happen? I failed you. If we want to see the year's end, we must build up fortifications, stockpile food, train up the militia. The patricians will be camped outside the city wall in a matter of weeks. It's time to pray to the Ninth, Your Majesty. Because apart from him, we're on our own. You must have noticed that the counts aren't happy, Your Majesty. The rebels have a keen eye. They'll take advantage of the situation. If the East joins, we'll be in trouble. It's high time you ask the counts directly what they need. Very well. The counts whisper among themselves. What is there to complain about? We're all working together, aren't we? I just hope we can all survive and have a productive time. How can the crown engage the counts to keep fighting for the royal cause? What can I do, counts? I'll do whatever it takes. I'll pay you, counts. I will pay you. What must I do, my lords? Vote C. Vote C. I implore you to vote C. I will pay you coin. I will fund your armies. We will defeat the patricians together. Allow us not to languish. Allow us not to falter. The treasurer arranges the funds. The crops are thriving in the east. The army marches on its stomach. Perhaps more importantly, the counts are praising your generosity. You can only hope their good mood lasts. Defectors. Good news, I hope. Any news can be good news if used effectively. There are dissenters among the coastal troops who want this conflict as little as we do. My agents could use them to sow opposition. It would be dangerous, but could significantly damage enemy morale. Or we could lure them to join the marcher troops. Some of the barons resent hosting turncoats, but we must be practical. Should the spy master make use of the dissenters in the rebel army? And how? I think we should lure the dissenters into the loyalist side with a cash incentive. Not only will I pay 1,000 gold to lure them away from the rebellion, but also, I will pay you 500 gold to vote with me. Vote B, my lords. Vote B. Please vote B. I will pay you money to vote B. Welcome A.M. Neckles to the Barons. The kingdom has gone broke because I've had to fight your rebellion, Kaito, and when I put your head on a spike, I will take your money. The spy master goes away to organize her agents. Soon, troops of the nervous coastal soldiers arrive to join ranks. Some of the barons aren't happy and see it as a sign of weakness, but the new troops will help conquer strategically important territory. And that is the end of the year of 1001, or the autumn of 1001. I wish I could bribe you all, but I cannot afford it. I will only be able to bribe the counts. I gave free cash to the counts. In the coast. Depths below, our soldiers are freezing to death. I've never seen such a harsh winter. We need to do something about this soon, or the king will tap us with a sword hilt and shatter us into 1,000 pieces. But what if we pull out now? It'll give the king and loyalists a chance to recuperate. Patricians! Kaito, Tater, Luca, and Potato, what will you do about the troops dying of frostbite? What will you do? Rebels? Potato, you have no money. You're ruining the trade of your kingdom. Look at Mikey's money. Mikey is rich as hell, dude. And loyal. They will dip into their own pockets to buy better equipment. The siege is maintained and the freezing becomes a less common cause of death. Your Majesty, I have good news and bad news. Which would you like first? The bad. An outbreak of a rare disease called Timian's pox is inside the walls. Civilians are dying in the hundreds and it'll spread to our garrisons if we're not careful. And the good news? I have a plan for how we can use this disease against our enemies. After all, they are but a stone's throw from our walls. Go on. Timian's pox is spread by close contact to infected individuals as well as through rats and fleas. It would be a trivial matter to spread such a disease to the traders beyond our walls. I love it. I knew you'd agree. We will spread Timian's pox to the besiegers. It's the only way to survive this rebellion. And if you vote with me, I will pay you 500 gold. We're going to roll the dice on this one. We're going to roll the dice on this one. But it's the only way to weaken the patricians in time for the coming battle. We don't care about the Geneva Conventions. We care about living. It's a 50-50 chance, roughly. We are bankrupt. That is true. The rebellion has caused this. Your spy master arranges an elaborate ruse involving infected soldiers getting captured by the enemy, and you await the results. The plan goes off without a hitch. It's not long before Proc spreads to the enemy encampment like wildfire. Meanwhile, the pox spreads rapidly through the city. Having failed to contain it, the death toll climbs and climbs. Furthermore, the nobles of your palace servants are infected. Though you personally avoid the worst of it, nearly everyone in the city has lost someone by the end of the epidemic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But we are besieged. We have to make hard choices. The patricians have marched through the crownlands, pillaging and burning. The roads are heaving with refugees and corpses clog the rivers. Now, the capital is surrounded. I'm on the ramparts of the palace, staring out in dismay at the army camps, stretching for miles. Get down from there, Your Majesty. If they get lucky with the crossbow bolt, is there any hope? Only one. The barons and the counts are still out there, your majesty. Their combined army may yet have been defeated by the rebels in the last battle, but they are gathering their reinforcements and calling their reserves, and I hope they get here in time. The ninth god will decide our fate. An immense trebuchet hurls a 10-ton boulder towards the capital, and it crashes into a nearby clock tower. Like I said, your majesty, you better get inside. The kingdom's on the brink of chaos. It's perfect. We have to strike. What do you intend to do? Swoop in and kidnap the king in full view of the palace watch? No, of course not. We need to use the chaos to our advantage. We have two options. Barons, how will you try to overthrow the king with your scheme? Will you lure me to the march and abduct me there? Or will you manufacture a food crisis and kidnap the king during the relief efforts? DK Foxen, Brickfail, AM Neckles, and Magnificent X get the chance to vote on this only. We need to convince the king the march is on the verge of rebellion. In the current climate, he'll be forced to make a diplomatic visit to smooth things over, and that's when we strike. One king enters the peace tent and another leaves. For the final stage of the scheme, the barons must raise their defiance to at least 5, but without starting a rebellion. The kingdom is in rebellion. The siege grinds on. Another dawn breaks. The great army of the coast sprawls outside. For the last 3 weeks, they've tried to fight their way in. The siege drags on and your food supplies are dwindling. The streets outside your palace explode in daily riots as the citizens demand to be fed. The counts will be here to save us, I'm sure of it, says Desdemona. As the evening draws in, horns blast. The patricians are mounting a final attack. A grim dawn. The sun rises on the city in turmoil. The patricians had begun their assault last night, and you heard nothing but screams and howls and blades. Half the capital is in flames. Soldiers rush back and forth. You haven't seen your marshal since the night before. She may already be dead. Your honor guard are in the streets outside the palace, building a barricade and organizing last-ditch defenses. Vital work, but you're vulnerable without them by your side. The royal court is now empty except for you, your wife, your son, cradled in the arms of his nanny. His crying is giving you a headache. I've prepared a special fast-acting poison, totally painless. Shall we have one last drink together? Have you really lost all hope? I'm being practical. Fine, we won't drink it yet, but it's here if you need it. You wait and stew. Finally, your spy master arrives, out of breath. Her face is stained by smoke and blood. They'll be here any moment, your majesty. You must saddle your horse and escape the city. I know of a secret passage. I will stand and fight. She is gone in the blink of the eye. Felix, I can't go out there with you. I'm not a fighter. Besides, I spent ages brewing poison. Shame to let it go to waste. Don't! Give him hell, my love. She gulps the poison. Moments later, she is dead. You rush to the stables, saddle your horse, and ride out into the street, sword in hand. A column of hardened coastal soldiers advance down the road. You can see Luca at their head, shouting orders. Charge! You kick your spurs into your steed and charge forward. It's almost over instantly. Someone hurls a spear that slams through your chest and sticks out the other side. You topple from your horse. 1,000 heavy boots march over you, crushing you into pace. But for a moment there, you really felt like a king. Damn, dude. Damn. Damn. Rip, bozo. Ah! Rip, bozo. Rip, bozo. Rip, bozo. Anarchy. Anarchy. King Felix II's last doomed, glorious charge against the patricians would go down in history. Not an especially smart move, but a brave one. After losing the Civil War, the barons retreated to within their borders and began plotting against the usurper. As a reward for staying loyal to the king, the top counts were beheaded in public. The survivors swore loyalty to the new regime, and in private, they swore vengeance. The patricians launched a rebellion that toppled the king and devastated the kingdom. In the aftermath, nobody could stop them from taking the throne, and Dorian was crowned to half-hearted cheers from traumatized common folk. King Felix II, the usurped. He lived for 3 years and 3 months. His spouse was Desdemona of the East, and his successor was the monarch Dorian. The wealthiest noble in this playthrough was Mikey Gage with 7,200 coins. And the poorest noble was Unlikely Potato with 0. Dorian is now king. Dorian is now the king. Wow, guys. Wow, wow, wow. Guys, that was an incredible third session of King of the Castle. We did it. We saw the rise of the King Dorian. We saw the end of King Felix II. He couldn't live up to his father's glory. That's the coast, right? So Felix was also from the coast. So the coast overthrew its own people. King Felix II failed the patricians. He was a patrician. He was a patrician. He was a patrician. Well, guys, I posted those results that we just saw on the Discord in a forum topic called Third Session End, and we will have a fourth session to continue this story. But as I told you, today is the boy's birthday. I gotta spend time with the boy. So I think you know what time it is. I'm dead tired. I need to stop for a bit and go dig up some old friends. So finish your homework. Be in by 9. But most importantly, tell your mothers I said hello. Auf Wiedersehen, ihr Lieben. I will see you all again. Let's see, what is today? Is today the last show of the week? Next week on Sunday, if you're in the States. Monday, if you're in the Philippines like me or Asia. Much love to you guys. Thank you to each and every fan of the show. I appreciate your loyalty, your generosity, and your commitment. Welcome again to our newest initiates of the dead, those who hit the follow button, our most loyal disciples of the dead. Magnificent X, thank you for that resub. And Squiddy with the bats earlier. That was very kind of you. That was very kind of you. Much love, guys, and I will see you later. I'm going to go celebrate my son.